Hello everyone, my name is Bingyuan. I am an undergraduate student in Jingdezhen Vocational University of Arts, China. My co-authors are Mr. Cao Zhaoxun, the lecturer in my university, and he is also the PhD student in University Kompasang, Malaysia. Prof. Ramligan Rajamanikan and Dr. Nu Khalida Dalan in University Kompasang, Malaysia. The topic of my presentation at this international conference is China's determination of data intellectual property rights in the SPCN strategy. During the conference, I will have an in-depth discussion with all of you on the crucial issues of confirming data intellectual property rights on the SPCN strategy in China. The issue is of vital significance for the current development of legal field and the data industry. The first research background. In data rights confirmation, countries face complex situations that need attention. In China's legal academic community, there are various deficiencies for key issues like unclear data legal nature, ambiguous rights subjects, and the variable protection scenarios. A complete research system is lacking. The government is also in the exploratory stage in handling this. However, China has actively built a basic data system legal framework for protecting data property rights vertically law at different levels, including the personal information protection law and others have data rights provisions, and local governments have also contributed forming a multi-level system horizontally. Based on data subjects, there are three management systems: personal information, commercial circulation data, and the government data system, involving the individual, enterprises, and the government. But this classification isn't absolute. In the real data development, these three types of data can be mutually converted, increasing the complexity of confirming data intellectual property rights. China faces problems like ambiguous data nature, difficult subject division, and diverse and changeable application scenarios. The second problem statement. Data property right issues from an international perspective. Globally, different countries have different paces and achievements in data property rights. The US has certain results in data system construction. It has great achievements in data free flow and the property rights restrictions, government data opening, and the personal information protection, but its data free flow and property rights restriction strategy while promoting the digital economy also has issues of insufficient data property rights protection in China. In China, currently, we mainly rely on the anti-unfair competition law and other relevant intellectual property law for data issues. This law has relieved the lack of protection problem caused by the absence of specific data law to some extent. However, their limitations are clear, unable to comprehensively and prospectively protect all data property rights issues. Since China has a written law system to adapt to the rapid data industry development, so the legal like problems through data legislation is an important task we must face. The third research methods. In this study, I use four methods: literature acquisition, policy acquisition, comparative law analysis, and jurisprudence analysis. Literature acquisition method. We adopted a scientific literature acquisition method. We explored the CNKI and Google Scholar databases deeply to collect the relevant data property right literature. We use keywords like data rights confirmation, and data intellectual property rights for precise screening to ensure high relevance. After collection, we analyzed and integrated the viewpoints in the literature to lay a solid theoretical foundation for the research. Policy acquisition method. Existing national policies are an important research basis. We comprehensively researched China government websites and laws and regulations. We also research data related bill in the US and the EU. This helps us determine different countries' attitude toward data property rights. Through aggregating and comparing the policies, we aim to provide a comprehensive perspective for improving the SPCN data rights confirmation strategy, enabling us to consider international protects and experiences when formulating the strategy to build a more scientific and reasonable one in China. Comparative law analysis. We do in-depth comparative law analysis, focusing on data security legislation and supervision difference among China, the US, and Europe. We compare the detail in legislative framework, law enforcement mechanism, and regulatory focus. For the legislative framework, we analyze the structure, process, and specific content of legal system to clarify similarities and different in legal provisions in the law enforcement mechanism. We explore how they implement laws through regulatory agencies in data security protects to understand methods and procedures. We also examined examine priorities in data security supervision, analyze different priorities and goals in handling data leakage, protecting privacy and promoting data circulation. Through this analysis, we can grasp the global situation and trend of data security legislation and supervision, providing reference for China data rights confirmation research. Jurisprudence analysis. We use the jurisprudence analysis method to discuss whether data can be a civil law rights object. First, we systematically sort out basic theories and the principle of data rights confirmation and comprehensively examine data status and attributes in civil law based on relevant legal provisions. Then, by comparing other countries and regions' legislative practice and judicial precedents, we refine our understanding of data's attributes as a right object. Finally, combining theoretical analysis and empirical research, we assess and argue the feasibility of data as a civil law rights object, aiming to provide new perspective and solutions for this complex legal issue. The fourth, analysis and discussion. The problem of ambiguous nature of data intellectual property rights. The ambiguity of the nature has had a serious impact in legal practice, making it difficult to determine key elements such as the protection scope and the protection period of data intellectual property rights, thereby causing relevant subjects to face huge risks in the process of data trading, using and protecting. The problem of difficult division of data intellectual property rights subjects. The difficulties of the subjective vision has led to frequent disputes over data intellectual property rights, bringing huge challenging to judicial practice and increasing the difficulty and complexity of judicial judgment. The problem of diversified and variable application scenarios of data. The diversification and the variability make the factors to be considered in the confirmation of data intellectual property rights more complex, making it difficult to measure with a unique standard and bringing great difficulty to the work of data rights confirmation. The problem of extinct research divergences. The different understanding of nature directly affect the determination of the legal basis and principle for protecting data intellectual property rights, making it lack a unified guiding direction in the legislative and practical process. This divergence is manifested as the game of interest among various parties in the actual data industry and is also reflected in the different tendencies in data legislation in different countries and regions, making the global data legislation work face a complex situation. This differences leads to a lack of clear understanding among all parties of the rights they possess and the obligations they should bear in the process of the data trading and using, easily triggering intellectual property rights disputes and disrupting the healthy development environment of the data industry. Ambiguity in data IP rights nature. Data is the special results distinct from traditional IP object due to intangibility, reproducibility, and easy spread. Defining its IP nature is complex. For instance, there's debate on data's creativity and innovativeness because of varying scenarios and evaluation criteria. Some data gains value from post collection processing, whether such data is an IP creative object isn't uniformly agreed in academia and industry. Difficulty in dividing data IP rights subjects. Many subjects are in detailed life cycle, such as generator, collector, organizer, and user. Each impact the data value. In the Internet of Things, sensors collect data that become value after processing. It's tough to determine which subject own the IP rights. The seller owner, data processing platform operator, or the final user. Diversified and variable data application scenarios. With IT development, data application scenarios are richer and more diverse. For traditional business to emerging fields like AI, big data analysis, and cloud computing. In different scenarios, data use methods and rights and interest relating changes. In medical big data, patient health data need privacy, research balance. In e-commerce, user transaction data is for commercial competition and marketing analysis. Ist- is existing research divergences. There are clear differences in current research on data ownership, nature, subjects, and content, making data IP rights confirmation harder. Regarding the nature and the data is where the data is a new IP object or face the tradition system. Some scholars want a new theory and framework, while others prefer adjusting the existing one. For subjects, different system different stem from widening understanding of contributions in creating data with value. It's hard to measure this, and different criteria lead to different identifications, affecting rights attribution. For content, there are differences in definition of specific rights like use, reproduction, and dissemination among different research views. This paper put forward the view of the SPCN rights confirmation strategy. The classification of N, the SPCN rights confirmation strategy brings new thought for data rights confirmation from an economic view. N splits data into public and protected data. This isn't a boost. They can convert under certain conditions. The the key difference is the protection degree. Protected data needs full protection, while the public data only partial protection. This is different from traditional ways like classifying by personal, enterprise, or government data. It's aimed to set the criteria for data usability. Public data has great social value, promoting knowledge sharing, R&D, education, government, transparency, innovation, and economic growth. So we should encourage the legal use, research, and the study of public data. The distinction of right and interest by S. From the rights and interest protection angle, S is crucial in the SPCN strategy. Is it clearly separates data rights and interest into those of creators and processors. Creators' rights include various data property rights like holding, using resources, operating products, getting proceeds, applying for disposal of resources, and the right to know. Mm, this ensure their economic control of data. Creators also have privacy and intellectual property rights, protecting them legally and morally. Processors also have rights during processing similar to creators, such as right to process data, using results, getting proceeds, and intellectual property rights. This distribution reflects fairness, acknowledging processors' contribution to data value and helps the data industry grow healthily and protect data rights during processing. The division of value by C. C is vital in the SPCN rights confirmation strategy. It separates data into value creators and contributors. Creators use mental labor to initial process raw data, giving it a new value and forming valuable initial data with bundle of rights. Phases each right reflect the creator's wisdom and contribution. Contributions further process the initial data. This reprocessing changes the original bundle of rights and generates new rights. Rights are obtained based on the contribution in a chain, like manner, promoting rights generation and determination and giving contributor unique rights. To protect creators' rights, contributors should give them economic compensation based on their rights, achieve fairness and sustainability in value creation. The compensation method of P is an important part of the SPC rights confirmation strategy in data value creation. Data are divided into utilizable and invalid data. For invalid data in the original data, operation like using, copying, transporting, and processing won't change rights content. Rights change, rights change many come from the optimizable part of the original data because computer may only process part of the site data, so the optimizable part is key in value creation. The SPCN is an innovative data rights confirmation and compensation scheme, different from traditional methods. It does indirect rights confirmation through economic benefit and contribution values. Based on the 20 article on data and combining Professor Wang Ming's dual right and interest structural idea, the SPCN many protect data property rights for citizens. Personality rights. The Civil Code's personality rights section is used. The data security law of the People's Republic of China has set up a complete data security management system, including risk assessment and protection measures. Forming the first line of defense for data security, the SPCN is like a second punitive compensation mechanism after this. They complement each other to ensure proper resolution of data rights confirmation. enabling data to bring economic benefits safely and promoting the healthy and stable development of China data industry. Thank you.